Hello, dear friends. Here we are, Thought and Life by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. This is the reason why we're getting together 30 days of inner journey, and your thought is your life. Basically, we're learning that what we think, we create. We make it manifest in our lives. So we better practice good thoughts, good feelings, so we can produce good words, good actions. Always be optimistic. And here we are. Is it worthwhile being optimistic? Is it worthwhile helping others? Is it worthwhile believing the good? These are questions that we're going to address also today in this new chapter. It's chapter 23, Assistance. Let us not forget that as we are studying this book, we could almost divide it in three parts. The first 10 chapters are about the foundation of the mechanisms of our mind, and from how it works as the mirror of our lives to our will being the supervisor manager of our minds, the cooperation, how important it is for us to understand that we're here to cooperate with God because we're co-creators, instruct ourselves, educate ourselves and others, have faith, work, associate with others, understand the power of suggestions and inductions like mental inductors, and understand. And finally, in the second part, as we are studying this book to prepare ourselves in the school of regenerations in the spiritual realm, also for our own spiritual regeneration, in the second part, the next 10 chapters that we've studied already, they talk about the significance of an incarnation, from cradle to family, children, our physical body, the fact that we have this healer within, our vocation, our profession, society, prosperity, habits, is when we begin a new one. Now we're going to talk about in this third, as we've been talking already, the beauty of different tools and how we can use them to live a better life, ridding ourselves of the negative feelings and thoughts such as guilt, which is apparently inevitable, but as we learned yesterday, Emmanuel says, it is not only possible, but it's possible also to refrain, avoid entering by readjusting ourselves with humility. Humility is everything. It makes us feel lighter. It makes us feel better. It makes us feel closer to God. So close, consciously speaking, that we feel in His arms. How about that feeling? So let me say hi to our beautiful community before we begin reading it, okay? Hello, Leonor. How are you? Rihanna, Enadilson, Valéria, Sunshine, hello, hello, Melissa, Marilda, it's wonderful to have you here live too, Sunshine, Maria Edith, hello, Marilda, and Felipe. Hi, Luciana. Thank you, my friend Luciana. I know Twinny is there. Lea Severo. Good morning, Rihanna. Good morning to you too. Thank you for the good wishes, and the whole community is certainly very, very thankful. Let us read this chapter. And before we read it, and before we immerse ourselves in this breakdown, let us do the following. Let us think of the superior spirits like Emmanuel, the loving guides of humanity on earth, who are working 24/7, non-stop, so you and I and everybody on the earth can finally, once and for all, align with their hearts and do what we have to do without delay. Let us dedicate this session to this feeling of reverence, of gratitude and respect. And like good students, let us have very deep attention. Pay attention. Not that we don't, but let's pay an extra attention to the words Emmanuel used and to the feelings attached to the words, so we feel the scriptures and we can more easily put it in practice, okay? Hello, Jussara! Yay! José González, como estás, amigo? Saludos! Patrícia and Tiago! And Sol, João Bosco and Fátima. Friends, thank you, João Bosco. Reverence. Let us feel, let us visualize Emmanuel bringing this information to us through the hands of Chico Xavier and feel their dedication to bringing to us, like, you know, parents who love their kids and bring the best. Let us feel it before anything else. Feel their love when they're disclosing the comments in this chapter. Chapter 23, Assistance. Assistance, when given freely, reflects the divine nature existing within the human race. Our personality grows in stature and nobility as we yield to the desire of helping others. Divine providence is a reservoir of infinite love, always giving and looking for channels of expression to distribute it. Whoever accepts to do so receives with mathematical precision everything they need. It is necessary, however, that we be watchful about the collective thoughts within us, so as not to hinder the internal giving of our Father, who is always ready to share the riches He has bestowed upon us. A look at the principles of electricity showed that there must be a complete circuit for the current to flow and produce its desired work. If there were no positive and negative poles, we would not be able to have electric, lighting, and motion. By the same principle, spring water, to remain pure, must have an outlet. An obstruction means stagnation and disease. The law of assistance permits one to ask for help, but it demands expansion of the benefits received, so that the help does not become a hindrance. Blood that does not circulate results in necrosis, a ghastly condition inside the living body. People who know how to handle their many possessions, giving opportunities of work and education to many, are like a water reservoir serving the community. They are emissaries of progress, sustained by hope, health, security, and happiness according to the laws of life. On the other hand, those who accumulate many possessions without using them to improve the community are like a murky swamp alongside the road, unhappy misers surrounded by anguish and fear, solitude and emptiness, according to the same natural laws. The assistance we receive corresponds to the assistance we offer, and the assistance we give is always followed by great potential increase, stimulating us to become even more useful. Remember that when we help our neighbor, we reflect God's blessing working through us. To work discreetly in true service is to reflect God to those around us. Likewise, friends in the spirit world will silently draw near us and give us their total assistance. Help everyone with feeling, thoughtfulness, kind words and actions. By always helping others and constantly improving, we invoke in our favor the complete support from life. Let us not forget, however, therefore, that the help we offer other people without demand or payment is our silent prayer for divine help that is always answered with the blessings of cooperation and supply. Impressive. Visualizing the gravity of this message in the current times, when many people are surrendering to the temptations of others. People are asking, what do I do? Today, I shared in my personal Facebook page, Vanessa Anseloni, a 3-minute video clip recorded by a sympathizer of Spiritism, friend of ours, George Cow, from California. He gives us a great suggestion that goes hand in hand with this message, saying, think about your sphere of influence. And he mentions our President Trump. Do we have direct influence on him, physically speaking? Very little. On other major legislations? Very little. But what is our sphere of influence? The people in our home, the people in our work, in our neighborhood, in our communities, in our spiritist centers, in the organizations we partake, in our cities. If I keep focusing on something that I'm never going to be able to achieve directly, I'm just stagnated. This message today, chapter 23, is perfect for the current times, because it's telling us, in the grave days we're experiencing, that if I need to do anything, it is where I am right now. A plant cannot bloom a flower elsewhere. It blooms where it is. A tree cannot give fruit elsewhere. It needs to be where it is. So we're being called to pray for others. That we can do. To send positive thoughts, telling them, and I believe they are children of God too. But let's not be stagnated, awaiting others to be good co-creators so we fulfill our part. We have to do our part first. Right, Rita Di Cassia? It's a beautiful moment for all of us, a moment that redefines our lives, and this chapter is very empowering. It's action chapters. These chapters are telling us day in, day out, and especially today, that we're being called to roll our sleeves and serve. We have no time any longer to watch what others are doing and demand anything. It's time for all and each one of us to do our share, our part. Okay? Let me say hi to Joyce and Angelita, Rose. Very grateful for your presences as well. Okay. And Rudy is mentioned to us here. I leave this chapter today. I asked for help I need tomorrow. And immediately, without a gesture of doubt, within 15 seconds, the person agreed to be there for me. Thank you, Rudy. So it's that very experience of action. Action. So how about this? We taking action right here and now. Right here and now. He says, this chapter is unbelievable because in 11 paragraphs, he says to us the definition and the condition. How should I assist? That's very important. Is it any time of assistance? No. He's saying assist, and if I think of what is to assist, is to aid somebody. It's that feeling of cooperation. Somebody needs something, and then I go with it. What do you need? Ma'am, please let me know. An apple? Apple. Water? Water. Cookie? Cookie. Chocolate? Chocolate. Pizza? Pizza. No, don't go there. Too many carbs, right? But I cannot give them fish if they cannot eat fish, if they don't need it. So to assist is to learn to cooperate, and that's humility. It takes humility for us to give people what they need and not what we think they need. How often, therapeutic quiz, how often do we offer things to others, think, I'm helping them. And then you ask the person who is being helped, is she helping you? No. Well, she's saying she's helping. No, but she's not, because I'm asking her to clean and she is not cleaning. She's ironing the clothes. I don't need anybody to do the laundry. I need her to clean. You see? That's exactly what we're talking about. Scale 0 to 10. How good do you think you are? And I'm thinking for myself too. 0 being like not good at all, and 10 being very good at assisting others in the sense of giving them what they need and not what we think they need. Where are we? 0, like not too good. I always want to do it. I always think that I know better than people regarding what they need. How many people are like this? Many. A whole country is saying, we need brotherhood, friendship, and then I come, no, I don't think that's what we need. My home, my family members say, we need some quietness. No, we need to cheer up. Let's plan a party tomorrow. And everybody's like, we needed the weekend off for ourselves. No, let's cheer up. So you see, Rita, thank you for sharing. 8, very good. There's always more room, right, for improvement. 8, 9, 10, wonderful, Rita. Close, coming closer. 10 is Jesus, so let's consider that 10 being Jesus. Excellent model of assistance. Unparalleled. Excellent. You see, when people came to him to be healed, he didn't heal, okay, without asking. He asked, how can I help you? What do you need? And people had to express it, because he was not going to give without people actually being there, ready. It doesn't work. He's our model, right? He's our model, a model of assistance. But Emmanuel says, there is a condition here. There is a a pathway to assist well. And he says, when we give it freely, and later in another paragraph, he's going to say, without demand or payment. That's what it means, freely. Not only freely regarding monetary payment, it means freely of demands. I'm going to give this to you, but remember, write it down. I'm giving this to you, okay? Thank you, Bianca, for being here and sharing your beautiful thoughts. I would think I might be 4'3". I always help, but at the end, they never care about me. Always funny, Bianca. Always. Bianca, let's observe what's happening there. Same with Jesus. People rarely valued his giving experiences. But he says, when we assist in this way, without demands, payments, freely, we reflect God in the human race. Some people I know, they are afraid of even smiling. But people are going to think this, that, and the other. Sincerely, why do you care? People are sleeping. They're not even going to recall what's happening because they are not conscious. Majority of people on earth are in a sleep state of mind. It's like I'm passing by and a dog is barking. And I'm going to say, I'm never going to pass by that street again because the dog is barking. Really? You're never going to pass by again because the dog is barking? He's entitled to barking because it pertains to his species, to his way of being, barking. It's the way he's communicating. But stopping from passing by that street because the dog is barking, it's the same as when I stop doing the good because people are, quote unquote, barking. They're entitled to their barking. They can say whatever they like. They can feel whatever they like. Most likely, they don't even know what they're thinking. Unless I'm doing something bad. And then I should listen. But if it's the right thing, let's respect the dog and let him bark. And if it's a cat, the cat's gonna meow, and the and the cow is going to moo, right? And it's all almost like the children's song. Old MacDonald had a house, E-I-E-I-O. And on that house lived a cow, E-I-E-I-O. And that's how it is. People are entitled to their own language as long as we do not refrain from doing what we have to do. Imagine if Jesus refrained from coming because he knew people wouldn't understand. Did we get it? The message? He came, assisted, didn't demand, and continues assisting us, period. It's lighter. That's why he said, you walk in a house, people don't welcome you, instead of staying there, arguing, fighting, and living and carrying that heaviness, he says, just get your sandals and get it off, shake it off, shake it off. I don't know the song, but I know it's a good one for the cause. Shake it off and go. That's how it is. You do what you have to do. Assist. Our personnel, now he's going to talk about the effects. If I decide to assist people, cooperate with people. Cooperate. what's going to happen to me? There are effects. For everything, there is an effect. Everything. And here's the effect. Our personality grows in stature and nobility as we surrender ourselves to the desire to help others. Desire to help others. He's not saying to helping others. He's saying to be willing to help others. I raise my vibrations if I have the willingness to help. I'm not fulfilling a job description just to say being dutiful. Remember, this is beyond the call of duty. Assistance is when we walk that extra mile, is when we do things out of the heart. Our desire to help others. Where is the level today? Do you wake up feeling like helping today? Your desire to help others. It's very important because it's key for us. Where do you think you are, my friend? 0 being, I never want to help others. That exists, by the way, in this world, okay? It's rare, but it exists. I sometimes want to help others. I often want to help others, or I always want to help others. Always, Bianca. Good job, good job, good job. Sincerely, that's the way to go. It's our tone. The vibration is always there. Hug sent, my friend Rita Di Cassia. He got your thoughts before you've even written this message, okay? So friends, now, of all paragraphs, this is one of the most striking ones. Be prepared. Divine providence is a reservoir of infinite love. What is divine providence? These words are not simple mere words. These are words of the Spiritist science. And the Spiritist science is precise from day one when Kardec defined the term Spiritism and not spiritualism and not anything else. He and the loving and kind illuminated spirits that guide humanity on the earth with Jesus, they were preparing the ground for a new era in humanity when we also think what we say with precision. Spiritism and every single word, including divine providence. What does divine providence here mean? In the book Genesis, Kardec talks about it. What the divine providence is. A book that people rarely read, but it's so important. It's the foundation of Spiritism. In the book Genesis, he has a chapter, Kardec, talking about the breakdown of this understanding what the divine providence is. And what is it? It's about this. The story of a mom who needs to give bread to her children. And she, in her maternal providence, she knocks at a bakery. The baker opens the door. She enters. There's a counter, a loaf of bread. She looks at the bread, thinks of her children. Her husband discarnated. She doesn't have a job. This is 19th century Paris, France. She's there. In her maternal providence, she is thinking, I need to bring food to the table. I need to bring food to the table. So she asked the baker, can you please help me? in my maternal providence, I need to feed my children. But I can't work because I need to take care of them. They're little. My husband just died. I still have to meet the ends of our family, and I need your help. But the baker says no. He turns his back, goes to the inside of the bakery. When he was walking to that direction, the mother, in her maternal providence instincts, steals the bread, the loaf of bread, runs to her house. She was a little noisy, and to the point that the baker turned around, looking at her, and said to himself, she's gonna pay for it. He goes and asks the police to go after her at a time in which those who stole a loaf of bread were guiltier than others who were stealing homes and many other things. And it still happens on the earth. The police knocked on her door. They were going to arrest her. There was no other way. When they were about to make that move, she was desperate, thinking about the love for her children, what they're going to think, what they're going to know, why she's being arrested, and the dishonor to the family. She tells the policeman, please give me a minute. She goes inside in her bedroom, but she doesn't come back soon. So they go knock at the door. She doesn't answer. So they open the door. When they open, they see the mother just killed herself. Why? Kardec, at his time, got to know of this case, true account. And he goes to the mediumistic meetings through the mediums of the time and evoking the spirit, asking for clarifications. Why did she do it? Who is responsible for this? And then a spirit mentor says, the cold-hearted baker is the person who is responsible for her suicide. Was she weak? No. The mentors explained that she was actually desperate, and for the love of the children, knowing that they would be raised in a completely distorted way, thinking that the mother did something wrong, she took her life away to make sure that they never thought she was wrong. She thought that that was the way they were going to break down the news, knowing that she didn't want him to be ashamed of her being arrested, being in prison forever. If a mother, the spirits say, is capable of giving her soul in the name of her children, imagine God. Imagine God, the divine providence that is pure and unconditional love. Think about this. We are not praising in any way it means the fact that she killed herself. No, it's not right. But the mercy of God is so provident that He gave her an opportunity. Later we're going to read the story to begin anew. So if a mother is capable of giving everything for the good of her children, what about God? And there are many of us who go through tough times and we doubt the greatness of God. And when we are easy in life, no problems, we also forget about God. Because then we indulge in the pleasures of life. We illude ourselves, as Emmanuel says in this book, Thought and Life, chapters we've studied before. We're so egotistic, so selfish, that we think we're above God. So above that we use social media like Facebook to show that we're living a good life, whereas many people are suffering. How selfish is this? How cruel is this to show that we're having a good life when many people are suffering? How dare us to do this? Thinking we're bringing smiles to people's eyes when they are experiencing lots of difficulties and we're enjoying the ease of life. As Mentor Joseph always says to me, keep to yourself your days, your easy days, he says. Your easy days. Keep it to yourself. Do not show it to others. And I say, why? Should I hide it? He said, no. Many people are struggling. You have no right to show them that you're doing well and that you are doing you're living easy life, even if for a second, while they have no break in the cruelty that they are living in. This is charity too. Something we don't remember. Hello, Rita. And Rita is saying here that Fernanda likes to sing. Hello, ballerina Abigail Francisco. Yes, long time no see you. It's good to have you here. And you're right, Melissa. We're constantly ungrateful, and as Emmanuel says, trying to be above God. These are Emmanuel's words. In this chapter, he's very straightforward. The divine providence is a reservoir of infinite love, always giving. But now he's going to say something probably we've never heard before in this way. Always giving and looking for channels of expression to distribute God's infinite love. Do you want to be a channel of God's infinite love? Do you? 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 No? Yes or no? Do you? Do you want to be a channel of God's reservoir, the expression of God's infinite love? He says, whomever accepts to do this receives with mathematical precision everything they need. But everything they need is not about what we want, it's about what we need. Look at Chico Xavier. Was Chico Xavier a channel of expression that distributed God's infinite love? Yes, he was. He still is. Did he receive what he needed? Yes. Many people can say, I'm not so sure. And even people who were very close to him, were like, I'm not so sure. He was often sick. He often had financial struggles. He had problems in the family. He had friends who were ungrateful and who were traitors, etc. But what he needed, he got. Stephen, in Poland, Stephen book. Such a beautiful soul from beginning to end in that life. Did he get what he needed? Yes. Was he a channel of expression, distributing God's infinite love? Yes, and still does. But when you see what he experienced, many people will doubt if he really got what he needed with mathematical precision. But he did. He did. If we go back and rewind, we're going to see the many instances he was given those opportunities. Right, friends? So today, of all things we're going to discuss, the main question for you and I is, the divine providence is the reservoir of infinite love. Always giving, always, non-stop. So you think, where is God silent? If we dare to say God is silent, believe me, we don't know about God. And I doubt if Mother Teresa, when she mentioned that, she really meant that he was silent. She meant that she could not pick up the connection. She could not. It's like a friend of mine asked me the other day, Vanessa, what about this? And I said, I don't know. We're going to ask the mentors. Have you asked? I said, I have. The mentors have already replied. It's the inbox, but I haven't logged in yet. Because the divine providence responds right away. And it's our thing. If it's silent, the connection is not working. It's not working on our end. Because on God's end, it's always there. The strongest connection ever. We need to work on our end. We need to work on our end. Plug it in. Sometimes you want to turn on the coffee maker. It's like, it's not worked. It's not working. Stopped working. And when you realize you didn't plug in, how are you going to power it up? It's not going to work, right? So, did you plug in? Yes. Okay, next. Did you turn it on? Yes. Can you wait a little bit? Your connection is being built. When it says connecting. Some people are like, I pray and I don't know anything. But how do you pray? Oh God, please help me. Thank you very much. Amen. You are just connecting and you unplugged. You got it out. Wait patiently. Breathe in and out. Listen. Feel it. Wait. Relaxation, breathing. Wait. And then go. Wait. We need to raise ourselves. But it says, of all things, do you want to be a channel of this reservoir of infinite love? Because Emmanuel says, if you accept, because God is looking for these channels, if you and I accept, what's going to happen? We are going to receive everything we need. And we don't need even to think what we need, because God already knows. So it's like, I don't think, I just trust it. Go. That's the main question of the day. Channels. Beautiful channels. In the brains, we have receptors. They are like channels through which the neurotransmitters go from one neuron to the next in this synopsis. Channels. If one neuron, expels, let's say this way, one molecule, but there is no opening on the other, the communication doesn't go through. We need a channel. God is abundant. Love, 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 love. And then we open. Channel, vessels. And Emmanuel is saying, but we need to be watchful, he says. There is one glitch here. About the collective thoughts inside of us. So we don't. That's when people are paying attention to the barking dogs. And they are not doing their job. The collective thoughts within us. What are people going to think? What are people going to feel? What are people going to do? Oh, I'm not sure I'm gonna do this because my husband, my wife, my brother, my sister, my colleague at work, ta ta ti ta ta ta, and then I don't do what I have to do, and at the end of this life, you discarnate by yourself, not with them. Even if you're the same plane, you discarnate the same time, not necessarily you're gonna be on the same place together. Because it's a matter of mental attunement, mental frequency. And then what happens? What happens? I stagnated. And that's exactly what Emmanuel says next. He says water needs movement, otherwise it stagnates and there's disease. The law of assistance, by the way, law is law. The law of God is law of assistance, law of charity, law of giving, permits one to ask for help, but it demands the expansion of the benefits received, so that the help does not become a hindrance. Blood does not circulate, results in necrosis, and then bad for the body. Question for us. Question. How often do we ask? We are allowed in the law of assistance to give and to receive. When we give freely without demanding payment, we receive with mathematical precision everything that we need. Are we allowed to ask? We are, as long as we also expand ourselves giving back. I will never forget Terezinha Sardano, the wife of Miguel de Jesus Sardano. This couple, adorable as they are, live in Santo André, São Paulo, Brazil. Valéria Benfica is good friends of theirs as well. And many of you already know them. I will never forget once visiting them and mentioning to Terezinha something good and beautiful that happened in my life. And she said, "Good, Vanessa. Now you have a credit card in your hand. You have credit. As Joana de Angelis said," she told me. "Remember, now you need to work harder to pay the credit you received." That's why we're doing this at 11 p.m. every day. No, I'm joking. This has been years ago. But that's exactly what it is. We need to be observant that if I ask for something, I will be given, as Jesus said. But I will need to expand myself and not be stagnated in just receiving. Ay, 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 ay. And he says something quite striking here, because often we think that people who have lots of possessions, they always are in the wrong direction. No. Like Jesus said about Zacchaeus, people who know how to handle their main possessions, giving work, being employers, giving education, they are like a water reservoir. They are emissaries of progress, sustaining hope, health, security, happiness. But if they have many possessions and they do not improve the community, they are like a murky swamp. We talked about Shrek yesterday, and Shrek is back here again. Shrek is back. Remember, we studied Shrek yesterday. And then we're going to become these unhappy misers, anguished, fearful. Wow, that's bad. So he says, anguish, fear, solitude, emptiness as results of being egotistic. So if I'm feeling empty, alone, fearful and anguished, it's probably a sign we're so selfish, so egotistic, that we are encapsulated in our murky swamp because we're not sharing. Share is care. We teach children, right? It's so funny. I see parents teaching children, share, share, share. And then I ask, do we share? Do we know how to share? Because we want our children to learn, but do we know how to share? So funny. We ask our children to be kind and compassionate and composed, no tantrums, but then we are so whimsical, so spoiled. I only do what I like, and I want my children to do what I want. It's a double message, right? Melissa, sharing is loving. Sharing is loving. It is. So the assistance we receive corresponds to the assistance we offer. The assistance we give is always followed by great potential increase, stimulating us to become even more useful. So the more you give, the more you're going to give, and the more you're going to give. No wonder when you start a project of giving and soon after you find yourself in another project, and people are like, you're compulsive about helping. No, it's not about me. It's just my nature. It's God. It's our inbuilt system. We're built like this. Many people, they think that they do one great project, that's it. They're done for life. Oh, I built a great hospital. I built a great hospital, 1972. Okay, and then what did you do? That's it. I gave them the money, the hospital's built, that's it. And then, that doesn't count. Because usually when we give and assist, it's going to be like more and more. It's like a spring of water. Starts very tiny and then it grows. River, ocean of love. Because you're connected to the abundance of life. If you decide to be a channel of expression of God's abundant, infinite love, that's what's going to happen. One small project leads into a major thing and then goes on, going on, and then you're like, whoa! But don't be afraid of the greatness because it's not us, it's God. Chico Xavier learned to deal with this infinite abundance of God's love. So abundant, he became calmer, more meek, ever more understanding, ever more fraternal, because you're immersed in that ocean, consciously speaking. How are you feeling, my friends? When you get to know of the rules of the game, this is the rules of our engagement in life. Rules of engagement. Assist in order to be assisted. Right? Remember that when we help our neighbor, we reflect God's blessing working through us. You see? When we help others, we're reflecting God's blessing. So if people say, you're wonderful, say, yes, God is wonderful, because what you're experiencing is God's greatness through us. So good. So good. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Right, Rita Di Cassia? It feels good to know that when we are giving, it's God's blessings through us. God's blessings through us. It's not us, so we don't need to be concerned. Shy? No. It's not us, it's God. But you're great. Yeah, God is great. God is great because everything comes from God. Everything. The first cause of all things good, is God. So if you do something good, God is doing it. So you don't need to be shy anymore. It's not you, it's God. You don't need to be shy. You see why we have to let it shine? That's why we need to let it shine. Because it's God's light. We can't obstruct it. If we do, it's going to be stagnated. Disease comes next. You want to be healthy? Move. Move. Yes. I like it moving. I like it moving. Moving! Yes, exactly. By always helping others and constantly improving, we invoke in our favor the complete support from life. And then you start feeling. Of course, you're going to feel that life has issues, but that doesn't impact you any longer. Everything's okay. It's like that song, the children's song. The wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round to God. And if I'm a little sad, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray, 'cause I know it's part of life. And if I'm a little angry, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. And if I'm a little tired, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. And then I go on and on with those feelings that it's okay because I'm attuned. Right? Right, friends? Finally, let's not forget. Bottom line, Emilio says, the help we offer other people without demand or payment is our silent prayer for divine help. Silent prayer. Silent prayer, because we're helping. How do we help? You know, when people sometimes come and ask us, my life is this and that and the other, and you're like, whoa, what should I say? God, you know, so please let me know, because you're the one, you created me, you created this friend, and we're together, and please use me to relay the message. I don't know, but you know. 'Cause you got know better than I, and you know better than I, and it's gonna be our silent prayer. Yes, when we help others, and that is always answered with the blessings of cooperation and supply. Friends, to assist others freely is to become a channel of God's love. I want to be a channel. You want to be a channel. I know it. That's why you're here. We want to be channels, and that's our prayer. Right, Maria Cristina? Right, Rihanna? Yes, Melissa. So that's why we wrap up, right, Rita Di Cassia? By always, don't judge people. If you see a homeless, remember of the woman who knocked at the baker's door. She needed it. And think, I don't know what's behind that request. But if they need a loaf of bread, I'm going to give it to them. Just give. In order to receive. Understand in order to be understood. Love in order to be loved. And let the old habits die so the new life, the new habits, and our evolution can actually come true. No stagnation. Don't be shy. Let us shine. Jesus said, right? master of happiness. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you, God. Thank you, friends. Today, 11 p.m., we're gonna study chapter 24, humility. One of the most humbling chapters of all. Let us live this day feeling I am a channel of God's love, of His infinite love. I decide and accept His invitation. I'm in channel of the expression of God's infinite love. Shall we? Big kiss. Have a beautiful night, beautiful day, and until next time, God willing.